Alright. Moving on to Joyride 2, Dead Ahead. Dead Ahead, alright? So, this one tells a story of four young people, two guys, two girls, driving down the road when their car stops working, and they have car troubles, so they go to the nearest house they can find, and they borrow a car, and the main female leaves her phone number for the person to get a hold of her should they need to. And they have full intention of paying them back gas money and stuff like that. But it just so happens that this particular car belongs to one Rusty Nail. You know where that's gonna lead. Coming off the first one was like this sadistic, slow burn, methodical, mind-breaking thriller where you didn't know what was gonna happen, and there was very minimal casualties. Whereas I think there was maybe one or two people that died in there. The ice guy and there was one other person. I don't know what. Well, I guess that one guy didn't die as much as he was in a coma, but yeah, this one is basically your road trip slasher type movie, and so yeah, let's get into this. Couple of names here that I want to throw out: Nicky Aycox, Nick Zano. Nick Zano from Legends of Tomorrow, What I Like About You, and The Final Destination. He's the better character in this than he was in The Final Destination. But then he had the character of Nick, played by some dude. I don't know who played it. First one. Kyle Schmid plays this guy, and he's a total jackass. He's the boyfriend of the Nicky Aycox's friend. And is her name on here too? Laura Jordan, her character. It's her sort of boyfriend they met online. Yeah. They don't know each other or anything, but that's how it works, I guess. I'm sorry, it's getting dark in here. What? What's going on? Don't tell me the light. We're out in Georgia here. That's gonna mess me up all. Hear anything? I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Look at it when it's done. Sorry. It's gonna get dark. I'm sorry. I can't help it. How dark is it in here? You're right for now. So, yeah, like I said, this is your, road trip slasher movie, but there are some elements I do like. Like Rusty Nail, personally, he's the ultimate killer in this, And there's one scene with a deadly game of craps that I particularly love. He's forced into two guys, Nick and Bobby, he's forcing them to play this deadly game of craps. Every time they roll, the number they roll corresponds with a certain method of torture. Like, you roll a 4 and it's kneecap. You roll a 5 and it's kneecap. You roll a 4, it's chest. Stuff like that. And I've seen this before, I haven't seen it in a while. And it was like, okay. When he said chest and he starts firing up this torch, I'm like, is he gonna burn his chest with the torch? That's not what happens at all. What actually happens is he takes the torch and he burns his R and he sticks it in the pocket. Goes like that. Burns the R like a brand into Bobby's chest. Yeah. Not bad. If I have to point out a flaw, it's the inconsistency with Rusty Nail. Like the look of Rusty Nail. He's shadowed like in the first one, but you see him up and about moving around more in this than you did the first one. And there's a couple times where you see, most of the time you see him, he's got this mullet thing in the back of his head. Which is most of the way you see him in this. There are a couple times that I think they used a different stunt guy or something, because, like, specifically the scene where he's taking Nick out of the truck, you can clearly tell he has short hair back there, and then in the very next scene he's got long hair again. So that's a little inconsistency. And like I said, it's more of a slasher film than a slow burner from the first one. To continue it as like a slasher film, sort of, because there are kills. Like the first kill is a hooker. He kills a hooker, and then, yeah, you know, there is a bit of a slow burn, but once he starts killing people, like the first, like one of them to go is the Laura, whatever her name is. He kidnaps. Well, they're in this diner, and Nick is just being a jackass, you know, just berating truckers. But he knows about trucker stuff. His dad was a trucker, I guess, and so he's like yelling at truckers and everything, and then Bobby goes to the bathroom, doesn't come back, and then that's when Rusty Nail calls, and they start to get worried about Bobby. Well, you took something of mine, well, I took something of yours. So she runs to the bathroom, Bobby's not there, and then they see that he cuts one of Bobby's fingers off, because they want the one, I forget her name, the friend, to cut her finger off, but they go to a morgue and they cut finger off a corpse, and he's been watching them, so he knows what they're doing, and so yeah, I get stopped right away. But eventually it comes to a head. He forces Nick to dress up like the hooker, basically, to get some crystal meth. And he ends up kidnapping Nick, and then he proceeds to try to run over the girls, and the one girl is pinned to, her leg is pinned. She tells Missy, or Melissa, to get out. She does, but to make it look like she didn't survive, and it works, because Rusty Nail tells Bobby later, yep, she's dead too. And then she shows up and beats the hell out of him with a shovel. You hit me with a shovel! Beat the hell out of him with a shovel. And then she takes off. She tries to take off with the truck. The cabin comes undone from the cab comes undone from the trailer, but that's okay because Rusty Nail is after her. And it looks like he dies at the end. And unlike the third one, it's going to spoil the third one, but the third one, it's not ambiguous at all whether or not he dies or not. And this one is ambiguous until you get a little scene afterwards where you see a woman on the highway. She's having trouble with her car, and she waves down this big rig truck, and the guy has burns all over his arm. It's Rusty Nail. And you hear it ends with Rusty Nail's laugh. So there's that. But yeah, guys, this one's good. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Definitely check it out. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still pretty good. Like I said, the first two are always kind of good to me, but the third one was where I kind of went, eh. And if I can get this light to work, I might watch the third one, but If I can't, I'm gonna have any light in here to do it. So, yeah. So just remember to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, love, peace, and chicken grease.